Mitch, when you talk about it being a frustrating negotiation or getting to this point, what was it about it that made it feel that way?
I just never felt that, that there was a deal that they felt that they would do. You know, without going into great detail, I just felt he was, well, the Magic were just canvassing the league, which is the job. You know, there's a timetable for everybody, but our timetable really should have no factor on their timetable. And, you know, up till Wednesday, I didn't think there'd be a deal. You know, it got really quiet a couple weeks ago. Before that, it was very crazy. And then it just died. So we had kind of moved on. We had signed Jordan Hill. We had signed Antoine Jameson. And thought it was over.
Along the way, were there points where you thought, oh, we're going down this path, it's coming, and then it wouldn't happen?
Yeah, you do. You know, Rob is, you know, I don't have a relationship with him like I do with the other general managers because it takes time to get to know somebody. So I have to learn his style. But looking back on it, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He took his time. You know, he looked at every opportunity, narrowed it down, negotiated, went back to a different team, negotiated some more, kept on coming back to you. And I never thought it would be a 4-team deal. I thought it might be a 3-team deal. So even when I thought there might be a deal there, he went out and found a 4th team to make it a better deal.
So did they bring in Philadelphia and Denver, or did you bring them in?
They did. They did.
There was a lot of confusion, at least yesterday, as to whether or not Powell was made part of that deal or any deal.
He was never part of the deal.
Of that deal or any deal?
No deal this summer.
Mitch, how big of a deal is it, to pardon the pun, but how big of a deal was it to do this and keep Powell? Not have to part with him and Andrew?
I think that's, you know, speaks for itself. You know, to be able to have both players. We never really contemplated trading both players, but you know they're in a different spot too. You know, I think if you ask them, they would probably say that they never wanted both players. You know, when you take 2 players like that, you're assuming, you know, certain obligations, and if you've decided that you're going to rebuild a team, then that's probably not how you do it. But to be able to keep, you know, Pau Gasol and add a player like Dwight Howard, you know, I know I'm ecstatic. You know, I know Jim's ecstatic, Jim Buss, and I know our coaches. When we told them yesterday in the office after we had the conference call, I told Mike that I thought we had a deal. And he looked at me and he said, "Who are we getting?" I said, "Dwight Howard." And he said, "Who's going out?" And I said, "Andrew." And he looked at me and said, "That's all?" I mean, of course, Josh and draft picks, and I said, "Yeah, that's all." He said, "No Pow?" I said, "No Pow." And he got up and hugged me.
That's great.
So he just jumped out of his chair and came over and hugged me.
But Mitch, as exciting as this is, how strange is it knowing that you don't know what's going to happen in the next year? That, you know, he might not be here for the long haul.
You know, players are on contracts. Some are 1 year, some are 2, some are 3. You don't know after any year. You know, we had Kobe, who was on a 1-year deal, you know, 8, 9 years ago, and you know he opted out. We'll deal with that a year from now, and our chances are as good as anybody's, if not better.